Hey guys, it's Rakers from socialmediadaredevil.com, and today we're going to talk about the 9 biggest mistakes that I see small businesses make while using social media. If you're watching this, then you are most likely a small business owner, or you're a social media marketer and you're trying to help small businesses. Well, today we're just going to go over some really cool stuff, things to help you optimize your social media reach and all that fun stuff, and just keep you from making the same mistakes that I've made. I've done this for a while, and I did some really awesome stuff, and then I really kind of fucked shit up sometimes. So we're going to go over the 9 mistakes that you can make and how to avoid. Okay, so the first mistake I see people making is not using visuals. So what you may not know is that your brain takes in information, like 90% of the information that it takes in is visual. And if you're not using visuals, well, why wouldn't you? And the other thing too, your brain processes visual information, a photo, 60,000 times faster than it does a text. So just posting something on Twitter or Facebook or something like that is not going to grab someone's attention. It takes too much effort for them to read and then decide if they want to, either click back to your site or whatever, as opposed to just having a really cool graphic. Now you got their attention. If the graphic can grab their attention, then maybe they'll read. Marketing is just getting their attention from here, going to there, there. So first thing is, make sure you start using visuals. And the number 2 mistake that I see is people spreading themselves too thin. Now, if you've read any of my stuff or you've been to our site, socialmediadaredevil.com, there's a common theme I have, which is be everywhere but in one place. I've made a video about this. We won't get into it too much. But at the end of the day, I have clients that say, hey, we want to be we want to be on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Craigslist, Tumblr, Pinterest, and with Snapchat, they want to be all over the place. But the fact is, the best thing for you to do is find out exactly where your target market is. My guess is if you're selling cupcakes, probably not going to want to be on LinkedIn. You'll more likely want to be on Pinterest or Facebook or Instagram. But you definitely pick and choose where you want to be. Don't take this shotgun approach of just let's go all over the place. You're really going to waste time and resources, and really you're going to waste money. So let's not do that. Number 3. The third biggest mistake that I see people make, which doesn't happen when they hire us, but it is what it is people don't respond to comments. You post something out there, and then boom, 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 no response. According to Sprout Social, a great resource, 89% of comments and messages go unanswered. That's a problem. You are in social media, right? So the whole point is to be social. Get people to know you, to like you, to trust you, and they will more than likely buy from you if they like your product. If you're competing between this and that one, but you actually know who this person is because they've responded to your comments, and this person gave you the cold ass shoulder, then you're going with this guy. Okay, also keep this in mind. Most consumers, they'll give somebody about 4 hours to respond to a complaint on social media, and the average response time is about 10 hours. Now, I know you don't have time to monitor things 24/7. We don't either. But keep in mind that the reason why somebody will most likely go to social media is they feel like they're going to get a response faster. Or they've tried your email, that didn't work, so now they feel like it's a bit of a more direct line to your company and to basically, in a way, get to the customer service. So just keep in mind that you should, at the very least, be checking once a day. If it's at all possible, if you're a small business owner, just check maybe first thing in the morning and then last thing in the afternoon, just to make sure there's no major red flags. You don't want to check first thing in the morning and then 2 or 3 days later you have somebody who sent you 20 tweets and going, what the fuck happened to my package? What's up with this or what's up with that? So at least once a day, if it's at all possible, twice a day. Number 4, I'm going to single out, I'll say this. Number 4 is not knowing how many times a day to tweet. And to get more specific, I'll talk about Twitter. This is one of the biggest things I have to educate our clients on, which is the average lifespan of a tweet is about 18 minutes or less. I've heard 3 minutes, I've heard 23 minutes, but most consensus is around 18 minutes. So in other words, if you post something at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, anybody from 2 o'clock till 2:18, or let's just even give it 2:30, those are only people that are going to see it. So people are just not posting enough, and you feel like, oh my gosh, if I'm posting too much, people are going to hate me. On Twitter, it's okay. Also, Pinterest is the same thing. Okay, so according to Simply Measured, they ran a little test, and basically what they started doing was tweeting in 15-minute increments. So basically you're talking 4 times an hour. Once they did that, they saw an increase in traffic. Well, the increase was 31%. That's huge. Getting 31% more traffic than you were before by tweeting more, not less, by tweeting more. And that's 4 times an hour. And we don't always suggest that you tweet that often, but if you're only tweeting twice a day, what's the point at that rate? 2 is nothing. So if you're only tweeting twice, definitely we always suggest at least 15 times a day. And if you're already tweeting that much, then do a test for a week or even a month and say, look, we're going to tweet 3 times an hour, or maybe 4 times an hour, like Simply Measured did, and just see what happens. I mean, that's what we do. We're daredevils. You're going to go out there and just give it a shot. Who gives a fuck? If you mess something up for a month, you're not going to lose all your followers. You'll be fine. Or even just do a 1-week trial and see what happens after 1 week. But definitely make sure you're tweeting and pinning enough times a day. Number 5, Mr. Cinco. The next thing that we find, and this is a really bad mindset, is our clients, they just want to sell all the time. We're on social media. Oh my goodness, did you just say we should tweet 15 times a day? Well, that's great. We can tweet our products 15 times a day. The problem basically is you're selling too much. We use social media, like I said, to build your likability, your trustability. Is that a word? Maybe. And getting people to know you, because they're more likely to buy. You can't do that by just constantly posting your products over and over and over again. You definitely want to start using a variety, like inspirational quotes, external content from other people in your industry, especially if it's related to you and it's not necessarily, a direct, product that is going to compete with yours. But if it's helpful information, that's what we want to do. We want to help our followers, which are our potential buyers. We want to help them as much as possible. The more you're helping them, the more likely they are to trust you, obviously. So that's the first thing, is don't sell too much. Now, according to Castora, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I think I am, their study is showing, and this is a little bit shocking, only 1.5% of sales come directly from social media. And that means, like, there's a post with a product, you click the product to buy the product. Only 1.5%. So the odds of you actually selling from that direct tweet are low. However, it doesn't mean that you don't get sales from social media. You can get people back to your blog or whatever, and then from there you can get them into a sales funnel. You can still generate sales, plenty of it, from social media, but a direct purchase is going to be low. So don't go out there and go, oh, let's just post all of our products and then just put it on, rinse and repeat. Make sure that it's not overflowing too much with your products. So getting people back to your site is very important. This is a way we can use social media to get them back to your site. People actually, the closing rate on email is 19% versus 1.5% or 1% on a direct sale from social media. So you can definitely use social media, get them back to your site, get them hooked with a lead magnet. From there, we put them in the sales funnel, all that other fun stuff. But don't sell too much. Number 6 is people selling too little. They're afraid to post their product. They're afraid, oh, we don't want our users to leave because we're being too pushy. Posting your product once or twice a day is okay. According to eMarketer, just so you guys know, and all these infographics and stuff, you can read more at the site, at our site, socialmediadaredevil.com. But according to eMarketer, they saw the order value, so an order placed and then the value of that order, how much it was, is shocking. Like LinkedIn was at $202. Facebook, the average was over $164. And Pinterest was over $120 per order. So again, it doesn't mean you can't sell going back to the other one, not saying don't sell on social media, because it is very important. It is possible to sell, and the value, the actual cost of these things can be very, very high. So don't forget and don't be afraid to sell while using social media. Numbers this many. 7. Okay, now the other thing that we see is people failing to use metrics, right? So how do you know if social media is working? Well, there's a few ways you can do. You can use bit.ly links in your bios so you know who's clicking. That's a great way. But essentially, we judge it by 2 ways, right? Traffic, because everybody wants traffic. Traffic leads to, traffic leads to leads. Those leads convert to sales, right? So the 2 things we want are traffic. And traffic is greatly influenced by your reach. So reach and traffic. So how many people are you reaching via social media, and how much traffic are you getting back from social media? Those are the 2 big metrics you want to make sure you focus on. But some people, they don't know. They just start posting stuff. They're like, I don't know who's coming from where and blah, blah, blah. My suggestion is to put a bit.ly link, a different bit.ly link in each of your social media platforms, at least in the bio, because right now for Instagram, you can only have a live link in the bio. You put one bit.ly link there. You can put another bit.ly link in your Twitter profile and another one. And of course, you'll have to set up landing pages. This is getting too much. But basically, we'll do another video on that later. But essentially, make sure you have some metrics so you can measure and know what's working, what's not working. Number 8. Okay, here we go. Now, the next one, and this is really big. The problem that I see is people just relying only on social media, being like, this is, we have people like, hey, we're a startup, we're whatever it is, we have this new product, and we need to go viral through social media. And it's like, man, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it could work that way, but you might as well play the lottery. You have as much of a chance going viral on social media as you do playing the lottery. There's a lot of weird factors that have to happen, and they're not very controllable. But here's the deal. My buddy Josh Coffey from Flight Media, if you are familiar with him, go to flightmedia.co. They got awesome stuff there. He said it best. He said, Ray, 10 years ago, if you had a website, if you were a small business, you had a website, you're crushing it, because not very many people had it, and you looked like you were way ahead of the game. And even 5 years ago, if you had a small business and you're on social media, killing it, because there weren't a lot of people using social media to sell. But at this point in the game, almost everybody's on social media, or at least everybody knows how important it is, and you can't just rely on that. We try to steer our clients towards content marketing as well, because even if I get you a lot of followers, if there's not any good reason for them to go back to your site, meaning you don't have blog posts, you don't have an ebook or some kind of lead magnet, if there's nothing aside from the 10 products that you own that they've already seen 100 times, there's no reason for them to go back. So social media plus content marketing plus email marketing, which again, the email open rate, I shouldn't even say open rate, but sales from email, which I told you earlier, the sales from social media, direct sales is 1.5%. Direct sales from email is 19%. I mean, what are we talking about? So email, social media, content marketing, you really have to have a well-developed, well-rounded approach. You can't just rely on social media. You're going to die a very slow and painful death. So the last, number 9, well, let's just do subtraction math. That many. Number 9 is expecting quick results. It's, again, the same thing with people saying, hey, we want to go viral. Like, well, yeah, good luck. I like quick results too. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. It's just like a diet or anything else. The more consistent that you are, say that slower, the more consistent that you are, the more you're going to start to see results. If you start a diet and you're like, oh, I ate well for whatever, 2 weeks, and then you quit, well, guess what happens? Nothing. But the people that stick with it are the people that see the results. But the problem is, after a while, you just go, we don't see it, and then you quit. So we always like to say around 6 months, you'll really start to see some ROI, which is, and I know that's a tough pill to swallow for some of you guys, because if you're going to spend the money or spend the time to do something for 6 months, and you're going to put in a lot of time or a lot of money, one or the other, sometimes both, if you're going to put that much in, you want to see that coming back, and it's not going to happen right away. And even at that 6-month mark, you might just be scratching the surface and finally you're like, okay, we're getting something back, barely. But once you hit past that 6 months and get to that 12-month, year-and-a-half mark, you'll really start to see results. But the problem is, you guys don't want to wait. You want it to happen right away, and it's just not going to happen that way. And it's difficult to try to tell your clients, like, hey, just be patient, because they're either forking out dollars to have you do this stuff, or if it's yourself, like I said, you're just, your spouse is going, are you still doing that? Nothing's happening. It's not working. Quit. And all your friends are saying, quit. Don't quit. The results will happen. You have to be patient. Okay, action steps. Now, every video I post, I like to have action steps. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because there's a lot. Basically, just go over what we just talked about. Give yourself a social media audit, right? Am I posting enough on Twitter? Maybe. Do I have visuals on my post? Maybe I don't. Maybe that's something I definitely need to incorporate. Am I spreading myself too thin? I need to consolidate and find out exactly where I need to be and stick to that. Am I trying to sell too much? Am I trying to sell too little? So basically what I want you to do is go over your social media and just give yourself an audit and say, this is what I'm doing wrong, this is what I'm doing right. And the good thing is, once you give yourself that audit, you should, most likely, your plan is going to get a little bit more concise. You'll actually spend a little bit less time on social media, unless you're not responding to comments. That will take you a little bit more time. But go to socialmediadaredevil.com, and we have this all listed out. It'll be super easy for you to just go through this and kind of give yourself a checklist and go, okay, let me double check all my social media strategies and make sure I'm on pace to be doing the right things at the right times. Okay, that's all I got for you today. As always, make sure that you go to socialmediadaredevil.com. We have all kinds of free stuff, free resources, webinars, all kinds of cool stuff. Go there, check it out. And if you want to, leave a comment in the section below. I will try to respond. I just told you guys you have to respond to comments, right? So I'll do my best to respond to those. If not, you can find me on Twitter. Really, Twitter's the place to be. It's_Rakers. And until then, like we always say, some people talk about it, daredevils do it. There's actually like a 19, shoot, what is it? 19, okay. Hold on. 90% information. I don't know what number we're on. Shit. 4. Shoot. Are we?
Yeah. You just did 3, right?
Did I?
I think you just did 3.
Yep, you're right. We're on number 4. Well, okay. I was so close. This is another stat. Oh shit. Who's it from? Okay, we should be able to. Let's go into the 9 mistakes. And number 1 is. Shit, I should have not done that.